Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to my safe haven for another live recap, discussion, breakdown, nerdgasm, whatever you want to call it. Holy fuck episode of WandaVision. In case you guys don't know, so we're doing things a little bit differently here because usually what I would do is like just release my normal spoiler-filled breakdown, record it, edit it, and then put it on YouTube for everybody to watch. But what happened was there's construction going on outside of my apartment. Obviously not right now. That's why we're doing this live right now. But there was construction going on outside of my apartment. They're like drilling and breaking into the freaking concrete. So it was all loud as hell, and all that would have came into the mic. And so I was just like, dang, I ain't going to be able to get this episode out. And I was like, well, I feel like they should be done after 5 o'clock. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go live. And I was going to do this whole live by myself, but thankfully I was able to get somebody on here to join me and or us, because I see some people in the chat. Hey, how's it going, guys? But yeah, I was able to get somebody to join us for this live. So I'm going to bring him on. This will be his first time in my safe haven. Hopefully it's not the last time. This person I've been in contact with for a while now. So let's just bring him on down to this episode of The Price is Right. Welcome, Ron. How do I do this? I forgot how to do this. Like, this is the first time I haven't done this before. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go.
What's good?
It worked.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Chilling, man. I love the whole safe haven thing, man. Everybody needs a safe space.
Yeah. It was either, I said this before, it was either that or Fortress of Gayitude. I wanted to have it somewhat comic booky, but then I was like, I like safe haven. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I was skipping for a second.
Oh, but yeah, no, I was saying it was either that or Fortress of Gayitude. But yeah, like the Fortress of Solitude. But that was like,
I got you.
Yeah, but I was like, but I like safe haven. It sounds
it's better. It's better.
It sounds more welcoming. But anyway, we're not talking about
open. It's like you're trying to keep people out if it's a fortress.
Yeah. That does. Yeah, that's true. This is a welcoming place.
Yeah, I feel you.
But anyway, enough about the name of my apartment. You're new here to this channel, so introduce yourself. Give a little about yourself. Talk about your website, all that stuff.
I'm Ron from You Don't Read Comics. I run a website that does mostly reviews of comic books. Like every week, boom, 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 more comics. And I run a pretty big meme page on Facebook, and we're on Instagram too. Just try Google You Don't Read Comics, and on Twitter we're reread comics because Twitter has that limit. So,
and you were actually when you asked me to review that indie comic, you were the first one that got me to like write out I've never written out a comic review.
We need to write more. I mean, I know we're all millennials and the video stuff is cool, but writing is always something you can go back to and like, it's proven, it's there, and it just stuff has to be written down,
It is, but since I don't have like an editor or anything like that, sometimes
that's why I do the editing.
Yeah, I'll be like, did I put a comma? Do I need a comma here? Like, but it was an interesting experience. Yeah, I would like to do. I feel like it's easier for me to talk about like comics.
Yeah, because you just jump out. Yeah.
As opposed to like,
but when you write, your thoughts are more structured and out there. You when you're just talking, you might forget something, or like, dang, I should have said this here. Or you're saying, let me go back, and you're doing a whole lot of PS. And when you write, everything is structured and thorough, and it's like boom. You're not making mistakes when you're writing because it's editing straight. So,
yes, that's true, but. Hopefully we won't. This won't be the last, or that won't be the last time. I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, we could do some stuff, yo.
Expanding my writing chops.
And it pops up when people Google you, yo.
And that'll work too, because I go to your website every so often because your fucking website talks. Because I don't read nowhere near as many books.
I know.
So I'm looking at the website. I'm like, I didn't even know there was this shit was even like, what is this? I've never even heard of this.
Yeah. There's always new books coming out, especially from Black creators and stuff like that. It's like a renaissance for Black comic book creators right now. So,
but yeah, guys, if you are, why is my mother calling me right now? Ma, I'm live. Oh wait, let me text her real quick. because she's gonna keep because if I decline her call, she's just gonna keep calling me.
Yeah, that's beef. You don't want that.
Or because she lives right above me, she's just gonna come right downstairs and interrupt the live.
What kind of mom you got? She gonna hit you with like a chancleta or like?
Nah, she be like, "Why you not answering the phone?"
Oh, okay.
She's from Trinidad.
Trinity.
Yeah. So I'm like, leave me alone. I forgot what I was about to say right before she started calling me.
Well, we're supposed to be talking about WandaVision, so
yeah, but now I remember. Now I remember. But somebody's knocking on my door. Like, what is going on? I'm ignoring it. But anyway, so guys, just in case you don't know, we will be talking full spoilers for WandaVision. So again, if you haven't seen episode 4 or episode 3, 2, 1, whatever, or you don't care about spoilers, you can stay here. But if you do care about spoilers, dip off.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, if you could please, for the 10 people that are in here, if you could hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. It'll get that YouTube algorithm up to let other people know within this YouTube space where's the live video, who needs to come, and get more people up in here. Tell mama to join the live stream. Nah, my mother don't know what I'm talking. my mother won't know what I'm talking about. She tries to watch some of my videos and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't.
As long as she hit the like button, it's all good.
I don't expect you to. Yeah, pretty much. It's just I'm like, just let
me, mama.
Yeah, I'm like, just let the whole video play on your phone while you in the background. Then hit the like button and then move on to the next. You don't even got to watch it. Just give me the watch time and the likes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, let's talk about this holy fuck episode,
bro,
of WandaVision. So yeah, you tell me what you thought first.
Yo, first off, when it opened up, I was very pleased to see that it was an episode about Monica, and it wasn't in the sitcom universe. It was like outside of that, which I didn't think we were gonna get, like a whole episode of that.
I kind of figured based on the title of the episode. Like before I hit play on Disney Plus, the title of the episode says "We Interrupt." Or
yes, you could have inferred that, yeah. And then it was like a 30-minute MCU movie. The tone was different, like this.
It was way different.
Yeah, just switched it up on us, and then I was hype about that. And the fact that we got so much time with Monica's characters, it shows that they're invested, and then they're building that character. I seen like a lot of stuff on the internet, like about people, especially like Black people, like we need more Monica, we need more Monica. We don't want a Captain Marvel movie with Carol. We wanted Monica, but it's coming. I don't think Marvel is slighting her in any way, and I could definitely see a next wave series happening after this.
Got it. My Monica Rambo figure right here.
You know what? I always thought about Monica in that run. I think they drew her to look like Whitney Houston. They do that. Yeah, they do that a lot. They'll pick an actor or somebody famous and they'll draw them just like them. And I think for a while Monica was Whitney Houston through like that whole Mighty Avengers run. Mighty Avengers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or when the actor is cast as them in the movie, then they make them look like.
Oh yeah, true.
Like Once Upon a Time, Spider-Man looked like Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, but no, Tobey Maguire looked like Spider-Man. I keep telling. Oh no, not Tobey Maguire. I mean, the other guy, Andrew Garfield. Spider-Man looked like Andrew Garfield looks how Spider-Man looked in Civil War, the comic. Exactly like it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He looks like him. Yeah.
But anyway,
so Andrew Garfield.
But yeah, the thing I love this episode because like for the longest time I've been calling from Marvel to introduce Monica Rambeau into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like especially and not even just have her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, somebody was knocking because of delivery. Oh, my Hasbro Rage Marvel Legends just came. That's what that was.
Would you order from Pulse or Amazon or some shit?
Amazon, because it was like $13
with the sale. Even though Amazon is like the I have a friend that calls it the axis of evil.
Yeah, it was only like $13. So I was like, you know what? Let me get another black figure to add to my shelf.
Facts.
But anyway, so I've been wanting Monica to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the longest time. Like you see her in the background. I've had the toy for a while, especially, and not even just have her in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've been calling for her to get her own solo comic.
Yeah,
because I'm like, as powerful as a character she is, she's arguably more powerful than even Carol Danvers, in my opinion.
I would put her past Carol because I'm getting super nerdy, super comic booky right now. But if you read all the tie-ins, I forget where it was. Somewhere in Time Runs Out is probably the Ultimates book. Like when they were trying to stop the incursions, and you had
she was about to destroy the Earth by herself.
Exactly. See, solo dolo about to bust the planet.
Yeah, but she ended up not doing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I guess if you could argue if binary could probably do that, maybe.
But she got to go binary first.
Yeah, but she got to go binary. Monica just by herself. But yeah, so I'm like, so because of that, and plus, aside from Storm, like she's one of my favorite Black superheroes. Like a lot of people usually pick Storm. I'm like, I'm about Monica.
Well, Storm is she's out there. You know, X-Men, the '90s cartoon. Storm is a big deal.
Yeah, she has more visibility. Yeah, so that's why I'm like Monica needs to have more visibility, especially considering.
Has she ever? I haven't really watched them because I got sick of them. Has she ever appeared in any of those Disney cartoons, like the Disney Avengers? Monica.
Oh, Monica, not that I know of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely needs more exposure.
Like I watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I didn't really watch the Avengers.
Me either. EMH was great.
Yeah, the one that replaced Earth's Mightiest Heroes because that was that was trash.
It is. But they gave a lot of POC characters a lot of shine in that. Like I think Black Panther had a whole season based on him.
Yeah, he had a whole season, but I don't think I've never seen because I would have seen like an article about it or whatever. I've never seen them talk about Monica Rambeau, which again goes to my point. She needs to have more play in the comics. So the fact that, or even in an MCU, so the fact that they introduced her character in Captain Marvel, I was a little disappointed because I'm like, oh, they made her young, and then they made her like almost subservient to Carol. But
that's a lot of people complaining like she's kind of under Carol, and that's not the case in the book.
Especially considering she was the first female Captain Marvel.
Yeah, with the title.
Now that she's kind of getting more play in this series, like when they announced that she was going to show up in WandaVision, I was like, Monica, like that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but this episode, like I really enjoy Teyonah Parris's portrayal of Monica Rambeau, and yeah, I feel like the only thing I was a little disappointed with, just to get disappointments out the way, because there's not much that I was disappointed with in this episode. Mm. The only thing I was disappointed with, considering that they broke away from the normal sitcom elements of this episode, and this was like a traditional MCU type of plot and structure.
Mm-hmm.
This episode should have been longer than the normal 30 minutes. It should have been maybe an hour.
But I think that's the whole thing is like, I think the first two episodes of WandaVision, they had to be together. Like they had to release those two because they had to introduce us to stuff and we weren't going to get hooked. They left us at the end of the second episode kind of like, I'm interested. And then the third episode was like, we're going to give you a lot in 30 minutes. This episode, we're going to give you a lot in 30 minutes. I think it's just going to be like that, you know? Yeah,
I do feel like because it ran so quick, like everything was just happening to you real quick. Like even though it was the same time length, it did feel shorter. Mm-hmm. Than the other episodes because everything was just coming at you. Then it was like, wait,
you're saying you wanted more.
It. I wanted more. Yeah, because like you like think the Mandalorian structure. Not every episode was the same length. It varied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. That's true. That's true.
So I'm like considering that this was.
They had like 7 minutes of credits.
Yeah,
maybe I'm mixing in the
pretty much. I'm like, consider this is a complete departure from what we've gotten in the first 3 episodes because we're out of the sitcom. I feel like even maybe an extra 10 minutes, like, because those credits be like 40 minutes each episode. I'm just like, come on now, like, give me something else. But yeah, I love this episode. Like even
so, and like you said, she was great. She was like a really strong character. You know, she kind of ran shit. You know, I didn't see anybody stepping on her toes or anything like that.
So yeah, jumping into the beginning of the episode, and I didn't take any notes or anything like that. I just rewatched the episode like 3 times. So that's my notes in my head. So hopefully I don't miss anything that I wanted to talk about. Talking about writing structure, probably should have took the notes. Yeah. So this episode really begins, and it kind of made me go, see, this episode, I see where that $25 million is going. Because
facts.
Them saying every episode is $25 million, and I'm looking at the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, where the fuck did it go? But this episode and the way the episode began, and you saw like every single like cell coming together to reform Monica Rambeau after the snap, or what they call the blip, that shit looked gorgeous. That was like one of the best looking effects in the MCU movies.
Yeah, the cinematography was crazy.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything look that good. Like that shit. Like you could literally
I didn't even know what was happening at first. And it's
I didn't know what was happening.
Everything, But I
like
was
you
just
can,
like,
but
oh.
you can like literally, because I went back and looked, like you can literally see like almost every particle coming back together. Like that shit looked beautiful.
And then the fact that they started the episode right there in that panic is like they threw you into it, and it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I love that they just threw you right into that, and kind of to go to show like this isn't the standard, the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, especially and I feel like this episode specifically was for those people that have been saying that I still see on Facebook, even from the first 3 episodes, oh, they feel like nothing's happening in WandaVision, and they've pretty much been bored from the first 3 episodes, which
Those are the people that want like Michael Bay explosions and everything. And,
I personally, I said this before in other reviews, like I don't understand that mentality, especially if you still thought it was boring after episode 3. Yeah. Like with everything that happened after episode 3, y'all still thought it was boring. I don't get it, but I kind of feel like this episode is for those people.
Yeah, it's gonna hook those people, definitely.
And if it doesn't, fuck those people. I'm hooked, so that's all that matters.
Facts. Especially after this one.
Especially after this one.
Stuff in this one. We got Darcy came back. You got Jimmy Woo. I fuck with the Woo.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on, man.
We'll get to that. I'm like staring at this because I ordered food like right before we went live, and I'm like smelling it, and my stomach is growling, and I'm like, focus. But yeah, so after the episode began, you saw Monica reforming, you saw everybody else reforming, and the chaos about it, especially, and in some ways it kind of reminds me of what's going on in the hospitals now with coronavirus and stuff definitely. Like that, how it's chaotic because cases are going up, hospital beds are full, and all that stuff. So this kind of reminds me of that. Like it's a normal, it looked like an ER. Now you got all these people returning back after the blip. And then Monica's trying to figure out what's going on. And based on the information that we got from this episode, when she was snapped away, she was at her mother's hospital. She was at her mother's hospital bedside because she supposedly had cancer. And we learned that Monica's mother died. She died of cancer 2 years. She died 2 years after Monica disappeared, or 3 years after
2 years after the snap.
2 years after the snap, and it was 3 years later.
Yeah, that Monica came back.
For the total of 5 years.
Now we're doing math, y'all.
Yeah, we're doing math equations. But the thing and I'm like, it's a funny thing. Now I'm like, I feel like Marvel's gonna have to address at some point the faulty logic of people returning back at the exact moment that they got snapped away.
Because what if the structure that they were in is not there anymore,
Or not even just that.
Happened. Yeah.
Not even just that. But I was like, what if I was on a plane?
Exactly.
30, you're right. 36,000 feet up in the air, and I'm like fucking snapping back in the air. So you basically brought me back to life just to kill me.
Yeah.
Or if I'm on, like you said, or if I'm on a boat out at sea. Or whatever.
Using a cruise.
I'm on a cruise. Like, how does that work?
People die every day, B. Niggas die every day, B.
Hold on, let me see. They said Hulk wished for them to return safely.
That's possible.
That's possible, but I'm possible. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so. Yeah, Monica's flipping out because she found out her mother died, and then she goes to her old job, which is we found out. Oh my God, why? Now my brother's calling me. what is going on tonight? Like,
popping. It's Friday.
It's apparently he's gonna call me right back. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully nobody else calls me after this. I just jinxed myself. Watch somebody else calls me. But anyway, so she goes to Sword, and we find out that Sword has been around. Well, first of all, Sword was created by Monica's mother, Maria, and it's been around since the 90s.
Which is crazy interesting because, that means Nick Fury had to have some kind of part in it, and I would love to see some on-camera action between Maria Rambo and Nick Fury, like showing them create. So even if it's just like a quick flashback or something like that, that'd be dope.
Yeah, because I was like, because that's the thing I was wondering. I'm like, so you telling me
Marvel took place in the 90s.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm like, you telling me Sword has been around since the 90s, but like there's been no mention or any, because I'm also like, so then what was Nick Fury doing at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming? I thought he was creating Sword. But based on this, they're like, oh no, Sword was already around.
Yeah, true that.
So
and he had to know about Sword. I mean,
he had to know about Sword. Like
and if Sword was around, and where were they during Avengers 1 when the Chitauri attacked?
Yeah, like he's the leader of shit. Like in the comic books, basically Shield and Sword are kind of the same thing.
Hand.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. Yeah, Shield and Sword. It's just Shield focuses on Earth, Sword focuses on space. But they're kind of taking a different route with this because when they jump it further into the episode, they kind of they changed the acronym for Sword because in the comics it's Sentient World Observation Response Division, but in this it's the Sentient Weapon.
Which makes more sense because it's a sword. I mean, I think it's like Shield is more protecting the Earth, and Sword is going out and stopping threats before they happen. You know, one is reactive and one is proactive.
Well, apparently they're doing a terrible job because they didn't show up during the during the Chitauri event. They didn't show up during Ultron. Sentient weapon. That's the most sentient weapon.
Facts.
So that's why I'm like, okay, they're gonna have to address this. If Sword has been around for so long, why didn't they show up during Ultron? But anyway, so we introduced this white guy who's the head of Sword.
He's temporary.
Yeah, or maybe because Monica might let him. Might let him stick.
She's gotta get her feet wet. You know what I mean? But they introduced, like I said, it was good because they didn't step on her toes and make it seem like anybody was like her boss or anything like that. The guy that was there because somebody else died and nobody else was there. If Monica was there, she would have had that position. So I think that they're gonna make her, which is because actually Carol was like the boss of Sword in the comics for a while. So to give that to Monica is kind of like, you know.
Yeah, he kind of alluded to the fact that if she was there, she would have been the boss. But I'm thinking like, because we already know that she's going to be in Captain Marvel 2. And I'm assuming, because I don't think she has her powers yet.
Oh, definitely not.
I think she's probably going to get her powers either the end of this or she's not going to get them until Captain Marvel 2. And I'm thinking once she gets her powers and starts working as a superhero, I don't think she's necessarily going to be the director of Sword. So she might end up nominating him as at least that's what I think. She's going to make him stay the leader.
I don't need to go off on a tangent, but I wonder how that's going to happen. How they're going to deal with her getting powers? Like, is it going to be from Carol or something like that? And then I think in Captain Marvel 2, she's supposed to be in it.
Kamala Khan's supposed to be in it.
Should be a good. They have a lot going on there. So,
and I was like, if they fucking use Captain Marvel 2 to introduce Hulkling, I will fall the fuck out. I will, because we already got Wiccan and Speed in this. So like,
speaking of that, since I'm talking to you, how do you feel about Captain Marvel and Maria Rambeau? I know a lot of like people that I know consider them like a gay couple.
Oh no, I thought they were like, they kind of hinted at it, but then I was like, but then they kind of like,
I mean, they were a gay couple raising that little girl.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
But they're a gay couple on paper, but are they actually a gay couple? Or are they going to go the route of? Granted, I hope not, because I don't see any chemistry. And plus, I don't like it in the comics. But like her and Rhodey,
no, that better not happen.
Yeah,
and they actually just ended that in the comics. Thank God.
I didn't like it.
She got Rhodey killed.
Yeah,
and then killed Tony.
Yeah, during Civil War II.
Yeah, that was a bad time for Carol. Anyway,
they fuck Carol. I didn't like what they did with Carol.
I used to love. I'm getting back into Miss Captain Marvel now, but I used to love her until Bendis ruined her.
Until Bendis ruined it. Like Civil War II, I didn't like Civil War II.
And people are like, you just got to get over that, and I'm just like, but it's there, it's written until it's retconned or something like that. It's still there. Like I didn't.
Yeah, it's like Gwen Stacy. It hasn't been retconned that she had sex and had children with Norman Osborn.
He didn't say anything to me. I was like, you could retcon it. You got the power.
I know people that aren't like reading comics like that. They're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Nerd.
So basically, for those of you that don't know, because I'm pretty sure you've seen the Spider-Man movies. Yes, in the comics, they said Gwen Stacy ended up before she died, she ended up having sex and having twin children with Norman Osborn, It was the worst. It was like Sins of the Past or something like that. It was like one of the worst Spider-Man runs ever. And they never retconned a lot of shit out of existence. They made Wanda and Pietro no longer mutants, and we're still waiting for that to go back. But yet they haven't retconned that even after Brand New Day and all that stuff. So that's still canon in the comics, which is stupid. But anyway, yeah, yes, Donna. She's like, oh my God, yes, that's true. It's trash. But yeah, going back to WandaVision. So her mother, Maria Rambo, she believed that there were protocols or whatever, because she expected her daughter to come back, and she didn't want her to go back out in the field. So because I guess she was out exploring space. And also Easter egg real quick, they did kind of have a reference to Captain Marvel when Monica was returning from the snap. You heard Brie Larson's voice when she called her Lieutenant Trouble. Mm-hmm. And then she also made a reference to allies in space.
Yeah, she said that several times, allies.
Rosalind, how do you use super chat? It's you should have a dollar icon on at the bottom of the screen if you want to do that, which it's not expected, but it's appreciated if you do end up doing that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So she has protocols to have her not go out into space, not go out in the field. She's doing terrestrial work to get her back into the swing of things. So they send her to. I was kind of hyped because I didn't realize that Westview was in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And granted, I ended up looking it up because I was like, because I'm from and I live in New Jersey. Oh, okay. And so I was like, that's not a real city in New Jersey? Because I was like, let me go drive to Westview and see if I see Wanda. See if I see Wanda there. And so I looked it up. It's not a real city, but there is a Westview Road in here in Jersey. So I may have to I'm gonna have to drive through the road, see if I see a fictional town.
How do you think they're using like Scarlet Witch's powers? Like, actually, this episode was the first time we actually saw her use powers, like use them, like in a hex way. So, like the fact that she kind of blocked off a whole town, like the scale of her powers, like made all those people forget. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm gonna get to that real quick because this something I have a theory about that. But so we see Jimmy Woo, and they have a conversation. And yeah, going with that, like, and also something that happens at the end that I guess I might as well just combine the two. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily know if Wanda created this world. I think she's manipulating this world. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she created this world.
Well, who else would have the
Mephisto?
No, who would have the not the means, but the reason? For what reason would he do it?
Because maybe she made a deal. She made a bargain. She wanted Vision back. Yeah. She wants kids with Vision.
And that's why I think they're not going to bring in Mephisto. It's going to be Mephisto, but it's going to be Dormammu, and that's the easy way to bring in Doctor Strange. It's going to be the same guy anyway. Whatever.
Yeah, because the reason I bring that up, because jumping to the end, once Monica kind of went back into her real personality and revealed Ultron, and Wanda went very sinister. And used her power like the same way she tilted her head after she's about to fuck Thanos up. It's the same way she tilted her head after Monica. And I was like, oh shit, she about to no more mutants her ass.
Facts. And when they actually showed her hit her and she went through all the like portals, like pretty much through the house and then through the portal, that was great, crazy effects. It reminded me of that horrible X-Men movie with Juggernaut, but like it was good though.
Better effects. But after she summoned her little red balls and she blasted her out, you saw like the shock in her face, like she didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
So it almost seemed like she herself was manipulated in that point. So it does make me wonder, like, I think she's manipulating the world now that they're in it, but I don't know if she necessarily created it.
World. Yeah.
Could be wrong. Again, we got 5 more episodes to find out, but that's
essentially 5 more episodes.
Yeah, it's 9 episodes. So this is episode 4.
Hopefully, like the last couple episodes are longer or whatever.
I hope so, but I mean, based on what we're seeing, every episode is like with a 7 minute freaking.
Yeah, I skipped the credits today, but I wonder if there was something in there. but I couldn't do it. It was 7 minutes.
I'm like, I could have got 7 minutes of like acting time or whatever.
Yeah, give me a skit at the end of something funny. Remember they had skits? Remember Thor has a roommate and stuff like that? Where the skits
I used to miss those. I used to miss those skits. Or like what's his face going to find the hammer, Coulson?
Yeah.
Or you saw those like burglars come across like Shatari tech.
Yeah. You think
using it to rob a bank?
Who's going to be the new Coulson?
I don't see why not. It would make sense, especially having him show up in this show. Like maybe have him become a Sword agent by the end of it, because it seems like Sword is going to take the place of Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Even though technically they said Shield was back in Avengers: Age of Ultron, but then we haven't seen it since.
I don't know. Don't you watch that TV show, Agents of Shield? What happened then at the end of that? I don't know. I
didn't see the last season.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, ever since Kevin Feige and Ike Perlmutter and stuff, like the Marvel TV side, they broke apart. Like Agents of Shield is technically now not part of the MCU.
Agents of Shield's not canon no more.
Or I mean, they haven't announced anything, but like they've been splitting them all. Like they said, Marvel TV and Marvel movies are now split off.
Definitely. Yeah, I remember that.
But anyway, let me just thank you so much. How you doing, Dust Daughters? Thank you for joining me in the live. Actually, thank you everybody, 18 people for joining me in this live. Thank you for the $10 super sticker. You didn't say anything or ask a question, but I appreciate that. I mean, here you go, right here. Is it wrong to call Wanda a cosmic Karen? I mean, no, I called her Karen Vision last week when I reviewed it live, because I was like, even though I love Wanda, when she was stepping up to Monica Rambeau like that, I was like, girl, you better back up.
And then in the comics, like the fact that she did the whole House of M thing, it was just for her. You know, she didn't really care about the world at large. She didn't really care about mutants at large.
She did, because she gave everybody a happy ending. Like she gave Peter Parker, she gave Miss Marvel
her people. She looked out for her people. I see Wanda as a big white feminist, yo. Like,
I mean, are all like Wonder Woman is a white feminist?
Nah, damn! Don't say that about Wonder Woman, dog.
Nah, Wonder Woman don't be pushing for like more diversity in the Justice League. Like she's been the only woman.
Wonder Woman. You read some Gail Simone Wonder Woman and you love it. You know what I mean?
But I'm like, she's been the only woman in the Justice League for like 70 years. She ain't looking around and been like
other women. That's that.
Yeah, she's right. Like
that's like, worse than white feminism. That's
I'm like,
it's
a sausage fest in the Justice League.
That's worse than white feminism.
She knew Vixen was going around. She ain't go like, could we bring Vixen on the team?
Sisters, you know, like maybe make an all. Yeah, have they ever had that? Besides Birds of Prey and stuff like that, have they ever had like an all female like superpower squad in DC?
Besides Birds of Prey, no.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey are like street.
Maybe like Harley Quinn and her people.
No, God, DC got problems.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not even just all work because A-Force. But I've been saying the same thing. Like I've been wanting an all-black team of X-Men, all-black team of Avengers. I mean, the closest we got was Black Panther and the crew.
We got all-black Avengers. I count Mighty Avengers as all-black Avengers, even though there was some white features.
Nah, that don't count then. Because Spider-Man was on it.
He put Spider-Man in it to bring people in. I'm not mad at it, and he wasn't there that long.
I need like
all black.
Not no colonizers welcome. Like put them on the cover, but don't just have them come in and like get a cup of coffee and then dip out. But
I mean, they kind of did that. Spider-Man kind of disappeared. She-Hulk kind of disappeared. It was for a while it was all black.
Hello, STEM Sensei, but but like I want it written by like Eval Ewing.
Oh God, I love Ewing. He's like I was talking to somebody earlier, man. Was it true? It's like a black. That's what I said at the beginning of this. There's a black comic book renaissance going on. Like I'm like for the first time I'm reading comics and I see like certain words or quotes that we use and it's written like the right way. I think it was the first time I saw it was like in a Spider-Man annual, Miles Morales, and then they had his uncle the Prowler. He said word and like the way they drew his face was like this. And he was like, word? And I was like, yo, that's it. That's it. You know what I mean?
Eval Ewing and drawn by Jamal Campbell.
Yeah, I love Jamal Cameron.
All X-Men book. But my only caveat is make sure they give Storm white eyebrows. It's a pet peeve of mine. Like every time people draw Storm, they always give her black eyebrows as if that's her natural hair color. It's like, no, she should have white eyebrows. Like I love the way Russell Dauterman draws Storm.
Russell Dauterman draws everything lovely. I like him more covers than the whole comics, but he's really just a great artist.
Or even like the way he draws Bishop and giving him like black hair. Like I love.
How do you feel about Bishop still having Jerry curls?
That's what I'm saying. Like I love the way Russell Dauterman draws him. Like, him still having Jerry curls in 2020. It's terrible. But anyway, hold on. I gotta thank you, Rosalind Cooper, for the $9.99 super chat. I'm fast forwarding so I can wait. But was it me or when Darcy? I guess she's talking about WandaVision. When Darcy saw the commercial, did she have a reaction like she recognized the actors in the commercial? Maybe, but I kind of had the theory that I was like, excuse me. I was wondering if those actors in the commercial were supposed to represent Wanda's parents.
Oh, and you see like in some scenes like in the
so maybe that's how she recognized them.
Like some scenes in the past episodes, like that building that they were being experimented on, it's like in the background and stuff like that. There's like so many theories that were going on in my head that were proven wrong this episode too. So I'm gonna stop.
Or I mean, they made like they're dissuading your expectations.
Maybe a lot of red herrings, maybe.
But yeah, so going back, so Philip, just let you, like Bishop having a Jerry curl, like it's tired, like it needs to go. This isn't coming to America. We're not having Soga. Just let it shine through, yeah. We're not doing that. But so getting back into the episode. So after Monica and Jimmy Woo had their conversation, you saw him do the card trick, which is a throwback to Ant-Man. He wasn't able to do that. We find out the origin of that plane that showed up in episode 2, which is something I suspected. I was like, oh, that's probably a drone that they sent into the world, and it ended up being changed because of the aesthetic of the world. But I originally thought that maybe because Jimmy Woo was going to be in it, I thought maybe he had access to some Ant-Man technology, and that's how Monica got into the world. She came in through the helicopter. So I was kind of right.
Yeah.
Ish. Monica came in pretty much at the same time. But yeah, so she ends up being sucked into the world, and
it's crazy. Like when she enters the world, does that immediately happen?
I mean, it looked like you froze a little bit, so I'll keep talking. I don't know if you can hear me, but based on what happens when we later see Darcy, it seemed like it was kind of immediate because based on the information that we got, there were more episodes within the WandaVision show than we actually had privy to, because you saw moments where like Monica was on the bench, like reading a newspaper, and she was talking about other moments that was happening within the sitcom world while they were still in the 50s that we just didn't see. So
but like when she got introduced to Scarlet Witch, like, and she said her name was Geraldine, and she paused. Is that because she was making the name up, or that because she didn't know who she was? I
think it was because she didn't know who she was. Because you see a lot of the characters going in and out of the sitcom aspect. Like even
but I think a lot of them are pretending like they know the whole deal. They know what's up. It's like we're stuck here and we don't want to mess it up. You know, we don't want to get, bodied or whatever. So
I think some of them are pretending. I don't think all of them are pretending, because like the boss and his wife, like when she was trying to get Wanda to stop him from choking, she still had like the sitcom smile. Like she's like, stop, kind of like Get Out, when she's like, no. It's kind of like that. So I don't think she was pretending, because if she was pretending, she'd have been like, Wanda, like do something. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Agatha. I think Agatha and Herb are pretending. So I think they know, because like Herb, that's the name of the High Evolutionary. So I think that's a play on that. And Agatha Harkness, she's a witch, so she kind of knows what's going on. So, but I think the rest of them know. But yeah, so they jump 24 hours later. That's when you saw the whole organization, SHIELD organization, descends on Westview, and that's when we finally get reintroduced to Darcy. which, you know, throwback to the Thor movies. And Darcy's on the come up now because she's a full. Because when she was in Thor, she was an assistant. Now she's a full on doctor. And the thing I liked about this episode is they took Kat Dennings' character Darcy and they played her more serious. She wasn't super jokey, even though she still has some of it.
There was jokes.
There was still some jokes, but it wasn't like constant like joke after joke after joke. Like this is not a serious character. I just noticed my light just died. Whatever, I gotta get some more batteries. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I appreciate
it. She was there to do a job. She was there to do a job.
Yeah, she was there to do a job, and it wasn't until Darcy showed up that they actually made any progress, and it kind of makes sense because of her connection to Thor. She knows what to look for, and a nice and what I believe was a reference to Fantastic Four when she mentioned the cosmic, whatever. What did she say? The cosmic something radiation.
Microwave CMBR.
Cosmic microwave radiation or something like that. Yeah. That's kind of the same. Like at least what I think was like the same radio waves or whatever, or radiation that created the Fantastic Four.
You might be fucking right.
So I'm like, oh well, they did announce the Fantastic Four. So
you're saying that the radiation that Wanda is creating could possibly be the same radiation that's going to make the Fantastic Four.
It could be. Could be, especially considering, like they said, this connects to Doctor Strange, which connects to Spider-Man, and then what does Spider-Man connect to? It's got to connect to something.
Definitely. Spider-Verse, but whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm at outside. I'm at the next movie outside of Spider-Man. And so, so Darcy, she ends up figuring out that, and we found out based on the first episode, we saw the show pan out and we saw somebody watching the TV. We found out that was actually Darcy, and she figured out that there's a WandaVision show happening within that world. And I felt like just the way the show was shot and how breakneck pace everything was, like I just felt like everything was just brilliant.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. It's definitely the best episode so far.
It's definitely the best episode so far, and I feel like, and it connects. I feel like this episode connects the most to like episode 3. Like you can't really enjoy this episode if you didn't watch episode 3.
Def. And like I don't know how fast you talk about this, but the reveal of Vision, that was it right there, and that brought up so many questions. It brought up a lot of questions. Yeah, my big question is did she create a new Vision or is she parading?
Yeah, that's what I'm. I have a question about that too. Let me share my screen real quick because I think I took a I found a screenshot of the. Oh, hold up! Wait a minute. No, you can't see it. Hold on. Let me do it again. You would think this is my first time going live. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You would think I'll be used to this, but I'm not because I don't do this that often. But yeah, here, hold on. Let me see if you can. I don't know if you can see it. You see it?
Oh yeah.
This right here. When they showed this at the end, I mean, we can skip around. We don't have to go fully in order.
And like, I don't be in my feels and stuff like that, but that put me in my feels.
Yeah, but like, this was like a straight up horror moment when they showed it. And then going to your question, it makes me wonder, like, is Vision actually walking around like this? And she's using her magic to glamour him? Because after she kicked Monica Rambeau out and you saw Vision come in, like if you look in the background, you see him look like this. Before they actually get the close-up on it.
Exactly. Before she fixes everything because she had to fix everything while she was from sending Monica out. Or it could have been the distortion from Monica leaving showed how he really looks. You know what I mean?
So I was like, or is that just her mind? Because now she's jumping back into the real world. So she's remembering the last time she saw him. So I'm like, granted, I know he's a robot, so it's technically not the case, but I'm like, but is Wanda participating in some necrophilia right now? She's like, she's having sex with like a dead robot.
It still will be necrophilia because he's not sentient. You
that's
know
what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Technically, it's not because he's a robot, but it's still a dead robot. or did she create him out of thin air? That's the thing I'm wondering.
Because it's like if she did create him, is his personality his, or is she making him do whatever she wants him to do? Like does he have a soul, pretty much?
Well, I think whether it's the robot, the dead robot, or she created him out of thin air, she's controlling him. Because if you jump back to the first episode, you saw when the guy was choking, you saw he kind of like, you see the look on his face. He kind of wanted to help.
Exactly, and she had let him.
Yeah, he couldn't move until she gave her permission.
Maybe that's the deal she made with Mephisto. It's like Vision was the deal, nothing else. Just Vision was the deal, and he gave her that corner and said she had to stay here because maybe she's a powerful enough Avenger, or she's powerful enough to help Doctor Strange defeat him. So he wants to keep her there, and the only way he can keep her there is by giving her Vision and keeping her in that bubble.
Not only just that, but I think I don't know if maybe Mephisto wants the kids, because there's a lot of references of like for the children, even though there's like no kids.
Like we just there's so many red herrings. Like I thought the beekeeper was a fucking AIM agent. Like
I thought so too. Thank you so much, Philip, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you guys for the super chats, and even just without the super chats, participating in the chat, for being here, watching the live. If you can. For all the 28 people here, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. But excellent work as always. I appreciate you. Did we see what happened to the beekeeper? Oh yeah, they didn't mention what happened to the beekeeper. We saw him, but we didn't see where he went or anything like that. Going through the store after Wanda made the film.
I would assume that he's a citizen now. She didn't kick him out.
Did he get spit out somewhere? Yeah, maybe he is a citizen. We don't know. And then also they never mention Ralph. The mysterious husband of Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
Jabari. Hey, Jabari, what did I miss? You missed like a 47-minute conversation. So you got to maybe you could go back to the beginning or whatever. I don't know. But what was I about to say? Yeah, I thought the beekeeper was an AIM agent, but yeah, it just turned out to be just a regular sword agent. I think it was an Easter egg for AIM. Because AIM does contract itself out in the comics, so maybe.
Yeah. What was up with the fact that when his thing came back up, they were pulling him on, it was like red and white, like candy stripe. You think that was just?
Oh, wait a minute! I missed another super chat. My bad. Jessica, hey Jessica, I'm late. Cry. There's no such thing as late. We're still going live, so there you go. I appreciate you and love your reviews. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Like the chat. Did I miss any more? Let me go back and check. No, okay. All right. I'm all caught up. But yeah, what were you saying?
I said I wonder if that like red and white like candy stripe thing was like some kind of reference. I just think that everything's a reference at this point. I'm just like,
I think everything's a reference. Yeah, I don't know what it's a reference to, but But that's why I got you on, because you know way more than I do.
yeah. I'm studying this shit, man. Studying it. Like I really don't know where the next episode is gonna go, or.
Well, we're jumping into the 80s.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, definitely back in the 80s.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this episode basically explains a lot of the questions that we had from the first 3 episodes, but then has me with a whole lot more questions. So yeah, we find out concrete, even though I suspected, but yeah, we found out that it was Jimmy Woo that was on the radio asking Wanda, who's doing this to you? Honestly, at first I thought, granted, I figured out it was Jimmy Woo eventually, but I was like, that kind of sounds like Captain America. That sounds like Steve Rogers.
Oh yeah, it did sound like him, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to say that. Yeah,
I was like, is that Steve Rogers? And then also like during those moments where Wanda or the sitcom world glitches, we see what they see. Like the world kind of like it just goes back into the sitcom. Like you see this like a gap in time.
The time thing is like you said, you saw Darcy watching more episodes than we get to watch. How fast is the show progressing, and why is it progressing?
And that's another thing. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another thing I want to address. Let me share my screen again. Because during the conversation when Darcy and them were trying to figure out what was happening, there was this entire whiteboard that they had.
I remember that.
And this I feel like, and this is the thing I love, because showing this right here show, because everybody that's talking about, oh, this thing seems slow and there's nothing, there's nothing happening. It shows
so much going on.
Yeah, it shows that the writers, like the way at least for me, the reason this show works so well, even from episode 1, is because it has some vision. Pun. But basically, all these questions that they're writing on the whiteboard, it shows that the writers actually thought about it. So it's going to pay off at a certain point. So like you kind of see right here, towards the left, maybe Jimmy Woo's like, maybe it's some scrolls. They're asking the question of like, why is everything in like what is the hexagon shape supposed to represent? So I feel like eventually all this stuff is going to be addressed. Like they're asking like, why is it a sitcom? Is it the same time and space? Is Vision alive? Is Vision dead? Like, so, and then also something else that they address, which I'm like, I find it very interesting. While they were watching the sitcom aspect, they were identifying all of the players.
All the missing people.
Within that world.
Don't really exist, nobody remembers them.
Which was interesting. And so they were able to find out all the people that were in that world, and it addressed another question, because a lot of people were wondering, did Wanda conjure all of those people into existence? And this goes to show, no, these are actually real people that have real lives that Wanda's taken away from their real lives, and they probably got families too. That Wanda's taken away from their families, but they conveniently don't remember them, so I guess they don't go looking for them.
You know what I'm wondering now is the town population was like 3,000 or so. I'm guessing all these people I mean, you might see them in passing or whatever, but those characters, those people that you might see in passing or whatever, they're not characters on the show. Why were certain people picked to be characters on the show? And where are the other people? Like you said, like I think you mentioned on your last live, there were no children,
Yeah. So I don't know. Or maybe they're characters in the sense that they're in the world, but they just don't have speaking roles. Because remember,
exactly.
Remember when Darcy was watching the show, she was like, "Oh, Monica actually has a speaking part in this episode." So Monica was seen, just not heard.
Exactly.
But the thing I also find very interesting, if you look at the screen, everybody has an identity except for Agnes. They haven't identified her, and she's been in every episode, so they've seen her. They just can't figure out who she is, and I find that because obviously we know she's Agatha Harkness, the witch, and so I find that interesting. I find that interesting, and I do wonder if that does. Maybe she. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but maybe she is.
Like, the way they do MCU stuff. Like I said,
yeah, they always change stuff
or combine stuff. I was explaining to somebody earlier that the way they did Hela in Thor Ragnarok, she was Hela mixed with Angela mixed with Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is funny because they're introducing Gore the God Butcher
afterwards. Yeah,
Love and Thunder. So I'm like, I wonder how they're gonna do that.
They kind of already did the Necro Sword thing.
And then also the thing I was wondering, I thought they were gonna have Angela play the role of Mistress Death in Avengers Infinity War, but that ended up not.
I think Thor is playing the role of Angela in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, what do you mean?
Angela was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying Angela, but I'm thinking Hela. That's what I was like. I was like, wait, Hela wasn't in Guardians, but no, I meant Hela. I thought Hela was going to play the role of Mistress Death.
Oh yeah, I thought that too. I thought she was going to be deaf. I thought she was going to come back in the Thanos films, but they didn't go that route. I still do that in my display and for my action figures or whatever. I have Hela next to Thanos because that's my game.
I don't have a Hela, but I got Angela. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yes, so they don't identify Agatha. So yeah, if anybody's aware, like I said, I think it's Agatha and Herb. I don't know why he would be aware, but Agatha definitely because of the whole witch phenomenon, and it does make me wonder what role she plays.
And you think about the position in the TV show, they're Vision's boss. So, he's Vision's boss and he's the wife, so that could mean something too.
Well, not
the fact that they have some kind of power over them.
Well, Herb isn't his boss. The white guy, the big guy is the boss. Herb is the black guy, the one with that was cutting into the.
Oh, I'm not talking about.
That's what was you about to say?
Wait, who's Agatha? I'm all messed up.
Agatha is the next door neighbor. That first came over in the beginning. That's also now her best friend.
The friendly one.
The friendly one, yeah. That introduced her. That introduced her to Dottie, who's played by Emma Caulfield. Got to throw out Anya from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's Agatha is also for this is a more concrete reference. Agatha is the one that was talking to Vision in episode 3 about Geraldine, like saying she doesn't have a house, she doesn't have a wife, like a wife and husband, and she was getting the black guy to shut up when he was about to spill too much. That's Agatha, or Agnes. Her name is Agnes in the show.
Yeah, you think she said that because she's protecting Wanda or protecting the boundary?
I think she's scared of Wanda. She doesn't want to fuck her. She doesn't want to fuck because she I guess maybe she knows what happened after or when Wanda wakes up. Because if she's a witch, she's got to sense something if they go that route. But real quick, let me address this question. How did she finish her degree? I remember in Thor movie, she hired an intern to do her internship work. I mean, well, it's been this. Well, I think
like 10 years.
Yes, this show takes place. I believe this show takes place in like 2025. And it's been, and Thor Ragnarok was what? Or Thor, the first Thor was in like 2012. So yeah, it's been like 10 years.
Yeah. She put the work in.
Yeah, she had plenty of time to work on that degree. But addressing this right, Dottie saying somebody said Dottie could be Mephisto. I don't know if Dottie's Mephisto. I think Ralph. Because she keeps mentioning Ralph, and we haven't seen this mysterious husband.
Yeah,
I think Ralph might end up being Mephisto.
Yeah,
and so because I feel like this show does a good job, and everything that they've introduced eventually comes into play, and they keep mentioning this Ralph character.
We haven't seen him,
So, and then Agatha is connected to Mephisto in the comics. And she fights him and everything like that. She brings his souls together to take him out. So I think that's kind of the connection. And going to what Donna said, Agnes and Herb definitely know. I feel like they definitely know more than what they're saying.
Herb was like, he starts to say something, then he'd be like,
yeah. And I think they all kind of know, because just like in the sword agents, where they would like when they saw Vision and they're like, wait a minute, he's dead.
Yeah.
I think they all know that Vision is dead.
Yeah. But at what point do they bring in another Avenger? They're sitting there watching this. They see two Avengers that at one point did they call, I don't know, who the Avengers you call? Maybe like Clint Barton or somebody, like, hey, why is this going on?
They said we're in 2023, not 2025. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have the Avengers number on speed dial.
They don't have Nick Fury on speed dial.
Well, Nick Fury's in space, so I don't know. At least last
with Sword. They were just with Sword.
At least last we saw him in Avengers Homecoming.
He was. They were just with Sword. They got to tell them to go.
Or the other explanation is just they couldn't afford to bring Samuel L. Jackson because they're already spending $25 million. They're already spending $25 million each episode. They can't have another $25 million just for Samuel L. Jackson by himself. He's $25 million.
Exactly. That man get his coin. But they could have referenced it. They didn't even have to bring somebody on. They could have just said that we were unable to contact. Maybe next episode.
Maybe next episode, because they kind of just found out, because they were caught off guard. They were shocked when they were like, "Wait a minute, those are two Avengers that are in there." And then they also don't know, because remember the question where the guy was like, "Is this happening in real time? Is this recorded? Is like, what is this?" And she's like, "I don't know." And that's something I'm wondering too, because going back to, like I said, Darcy was able to see way more episodes than we saw. So I'm wondering, like, how does this work in terms of like?
Did you get to watch reruns?
Yeah, like, are there reruns? Like, how does it work in terms of like the timeline? Are things happening? I mean, obviously they are because the pregnancy, but I'm just like, how does everything work? And then
Darcy eventually move up to a flat screen TV.
What'd you say?
Darcy eventually move up to a flat screen TV, like as the show progresses and we get to 2000s, that you get a flat screen TV.
I mean, maybe. But
I want to see the TVs progress.
Yeah, as the show progresses, the TVs has to progress. I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, I want the antenna on one, like the big one they used to wheel out in school.
Yeah, you gotta have. You had to move the antenna just to get a good signal. I used to hate that shit. You watching a good episode, then all of a sudden the signal start good. You got to get up and like.
Facts. Or you just hit that motherfucker.
Yeah. Be like, it'll fix itself. It'll fix. And you had to keep it on. You had to keep it on channel 3 if you wanted to play. Like if you wanted to play a video like Nintendo or whatever, you had to turn to channel 3. These kids today, they don't know that struggle, or having to sit in front of a TV when the show is actually on because there's no TiVo or whatever. Or if you want to catch a rerun, you had to wait till like the summertime to see the episode all over again. But going more into the episode, like towards the end of the episode, like we finally get to see what happened in that gap of time between when Monica mentioned Pietro.
The conversation that actually happened.
Yeah, the conversation that actually happened. And I'm actually glad, and I'm hoping, and I mentioned this last week too, but I'm hoping that the reference to Pietro wasn't just a one and done reference, because this is like the first time they've mentioned Pietro really since Age of Ultron.
You know what? I thought about this too, and I'm thinking that Wanda, she made a deal with whoever she made a deal with to get Vision back, but she brought Vision back and not her brother, her twin brother. Yeah. And I think that's why she felt that way. She felt bad about it. Like, damn, I brought back Vision, a robot, but I didn't bring back my brother. How selfish am I? Whatever. She started to feel that, and that she took out that anger on Monica. And I think we're gonna probably see more of her feeling that way eventually too. Like as it goes on, like she's gonna be thinking about her brother, and then I don't know if they're gonna bring him back or whatever, but we'll see.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, especially now that we know that Marvel has the rights to X-Men, and obviously we're gonna more than likely get Magneto and Charles Xavier, yada yada. I'm like, I would like to see Quicksilver return, and then them make Wanda and Wanda, Pietro, and then Lorna, all the children of Magneto. I would like to see, and hopefully they make that retcon that back into the which I think they are. Jump into comics real quick. Hickman has been using Monica. This Hickman has been using Wanda a couple times, and he doesn't. Yeah. He's known for playing the long game. So I think at a certain point,
but you gotta watch out because other people like Dan Slott is right in the Fantastic Four, and he retconned Franklin Richards being a mutant.
Yes, which was trash. But I feel like Hickman's gonna. I feel like Hickman's gonna like change that. He's gonna fix it, because I mean, if you look at his list, Franklin Richards is on there for a reason. So he has plans for Franklin Richards. Although part of me is, I'm like, how about he doesn't have Twitter anymore? He deleted his Twitter, but I'm like, could you bring back Willie Evans Jr.? He's like a black Franklin Richards. I'm like, could we get? I need more black mutants with superpowers.
Yeah.
But hold on, would it peep how Vision has super speed in the show, but Vision didn't have that when he was alive. He has a brother's power somehow. Oh, that is kind of. Oh yeah. That's a good one. Javon, let me bring you on this show. Let me have you on here next week.
That's that, and I was just thinking that maybe he just could do that, and they just never really referenced it. Or whatever.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's just never used it, because I mean, he has.
Yeah. Like how many times you seen Superman not use super speed?
Yeah, pretty much. Like Superman is. Granted, he's not as fast as the Flash, but we've never seen him like fly at the speed of.
Yeah, you barely see that stuff. Yeah,
but that's actually a good. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see
he's been using it a lot in this, or maybe they just don't have the budget to have him fly. And super speed is easier.
Yeah.
So what were you about to say?
Oh, I could definitely see, like, that's where I'm going with it now. I can see another episode happen to her, like her having a nightmare about her brother or something like that, and why she didn't bring him back. And I'm just going back to Wanda being a horrible person. That's her twin brother, yo. Her twin brother. They shared a womb. And she had the opportunity to bring somebody back to life, and she brings back Vision,
and she lost her parents, and that was her only blood relative left.
Exactly,
she brings back Vision.
She wanted shit. Shit.
Not your twin. Yeah, not your twin brother. Who died.
Yeah.
Like she's so upset. She's so upset and crying as soon as they reference Ultron and Pietro. But yeah, it's like you taking your anger out, but you ain't even bring him back.
Exactly. He rolling over his grave at super speed.
but we don't know. Maybe she did, because there's a theory, and it could be true, because there's a rumor or there's talk that Evan Peters is actually on the show.
Yeah, but like I said, he could be in there for like a nightmare scene or something like that, or
So yeah, we don't know if maybe she did try to bring her brother back, but instead of bringing back Aaron Taylor Johnson, she brought, because I mean, again, they say the show connects to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Maybe she brought back an alternate version of Pietro.
Yeah, she was like, "That's not my brother," and oh wow, that could be it. That could be it.
Which I think that would be very cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I want Aaron Taylor Johnson back.
Kick-ass.
He never really got his time to shine.
Exactly. He was in one movie.
Yeah, he was in one movie, and that was it. And he's a good actor. Plus, a little selfishly, in terms of who's cuter, Aaron Taylor Johnson is definitely cuter than Evan Peters. Nothing against Evan Peters, but if I had to look at a Quicksilver.
Yeah, but I think that could also be because Deadpool's going to be in the MCU, and so that means if Deadpool is canon, then that means like all those other characters are canon. They might say he came from a different reality, but that reality exists.
That reality exists. And I mean, but look at Spider-Man. They're bringing Tobey Maguire. They're bringing Andrew Garfield. So they're validating those universe exists.
Yeah.
So, and almost, I feel like maybe, especially now that Marvel owns Fox and things like that, I feel like in an almost DC type of way, where DC during like Convergence or whatever, they say, oh yeah, all those other DC universes and Elseworld, Kingdom Come, and all those, they all exist within the DC multiverse. I think maybe Marvel might end up doing the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, the Fox Spider-Man, the Fox X-Men movies and all that stuff, they all exist within the Marvel multiverse or whatever. And it's just, like there's the MCU and then there's like the Marvel Legends universe or whatever.
Definitely. As long as I get action figures, I want some action figures. Well, we already getting X-Men ones, but I want more.
I mean, I want a blue Marvel. That's what I want.
I have a custom blue Marvel. I think it's in storage. No, it's probably in my room. I got a good custom blue Marvel figure. We should have an official one, but
I want an official blue Marvel. I want like more black X-Men other than Storm and Bishop.
Monica and Blue Marvel is still a couple, so that could be a book right there. If Gambit and Rogue can get a couple book.
Yeah, Monica, they should. But yeah, I want more black X-Men figures besides Storm and Bishop. It seems to be the only two we can get. Like, give me Monet, give me Sync, give me Frenzy. Now that hopefully Tempo wins the vote for the X-Men vote that's going on.
I so much people to vote for Tempo. I voted in incognito. I voted on my computer, on my phone.
Yeah, I voted on my computer phone. Yeah, I've been texting people on my phone. People that don't even know shit about comics. I'm like, can you do me a favor and text and vote for Tempo?
Yeah, but I think the vote for Polaris is like crazy strong for some reason. We see Polaris all the damn time. Like
Polaris is an X factor.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I want to update it. Wiccan and Hulkling and Speed.
That's definitely coming with these how they're introducing these characters. Those figures.
But going with that, with the twins, what do you think they're going to do with the twins? Like, do you think the twins are going to age in the show, or do you think they're going to stay babies?
I mean, they haven't shown us anything, but I think the twins kind of have to age. Like they're going to jump 10 years into the future, and the twins aren't.
I mean, they might. I mean, because we don't necessarily know how time works, and then also we don't know, are the twins actually like, are they real, or are they
have souls? Or maybe that's another thing you go to Mephisto for, like they don't have souls.
Because I'm wondering, are they going to go the route of what happened in the Scarlet Witch and Vision comic, where she created the twins, but then they got put back to Mephisto, and then like 10 years later we get the Young Avengers. It's like, oh yeah, they got reincarnated. Are they going to go that route where by the end of the show she has to give up her kids and Vision, which causes her to snap? I mean, she's kind of already snapping. Or are we going to get the kids growing up? Like, are they going to take the kids away from her
Oh, yeah, definitely. The kids have to come away from her. But I
just thought that would be actually good. That'll be a kind of way to dial back the convoluted origin of Billy and Tommy in the comics. If she creates the kids and they are real, she got the soul. Keep the soul. She got the souls from Mephisto or whatever. And by the end of this, once they get out of the this fantasy world, Wanda gets her kids taken away from her, and then they get split up where Billy gets raised by the Kaplans and Tommy gets raised by the Shepherds. So you could kind of pay homage to that comic book origin without convoluting it by saying, oh, they're the resurrected souls of Vision and they used to be souls from the devil and all that. That's too convoluted for the MCU.
Yeah, but I could definitely see it happening that way, and we can still get our Young Avengers that way.
Yeah, and then not only just that, but then still have the origin of, not getting rid of the representation of Billy being raised by Jewish parents. So, I mean, I'm hoping, but I'm excited about the twins growing because I've been wanting Wicked Speed and Hulkling, and hopefully they introduce Prodigy at a certain point.
I'm just a big Young Avengers fan. That was like around the time when I really got heavy into comics, like Young Avengers. So.
Yeah, Young Avengers kind of got me back into Spider-Man big time got me, but even then I wasn't like reading it like that. But Young Avengers got me back into comics because I'm like, wait, there's a gay superhero like that doesn't exist. Granted, we had North Star, but when's the last time? That's the thing of what like that annoyed me when they had North Star, the big event of North Star getting married. I was like, when the last time they had fucking North Star in a comic?
Exactly. Or is there what's the name gay too? The guy with the long shot.
Long shot, no, but Shatterstar, he's bi.
And then
Shatterstar and Richter, they broke up, but they were dating.
And then you go to DC, you got a Midnighter. I don't know if you'll ever get like mainstream like that.
Midnight Apollo, who I think they deserve their own HBO series.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Those
two characters like. Deadpool is like the highest rated R movie ever. Mm-hmm. Midnighter and Apollo is your Deadpool audience for DC. Like, I don't know who's making these decisions, but I feel like the writing is on the wall for all of this shit. DC, like Walter Hamada and all that stuff, like they don't know what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, how come we still don't have our milestone books? Like, what the hell's going on? Like,
well, supposedly, I think Milestone's coming out next month.
They keep saying that.
They kept met because of the lawsuit that was happening. They had to deal with that first because they tried to
family of
McDuffie. McDuffie's estate. They tried not to pay her coins, which is some That's bullshit.
They do.
But yeah, but I know in the real life world they're trying to do like a milestone movie with Michael B. Jordan. Static. He's working on Static movie. I'm like, hopefully he's not. I mean, he might throw himself in it.
Yo, you see what he did with that show on Netflix?
Yeah, Raising Dion. He threw himself all in it. Then cast these two light skinned actors as Dion and Mother compared to like the trailer that came out when it was two dark skinned people.
The other day that all the roles that Michael B. Jordan get, Aldous Hodge should get.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's nothing against Michael B. Like I like Michael B. Jordan, but at the same time,
I love Creed.
But yeah, at the same time, bro, I'm
paying you too much, man, and you're not that prolific, and you don't have enough range to do a whole bunch of stuff,
But yeah, like going back to the horror stuff where like when Wanda went like this right here, let me open it up.
That's what like I said, this is the first time you've seen her actually use power, like her hand glow.
Yeah, because before it was just like it almost kind of looked computerized where
she was just doing it was like Bewitched or whatever she was doing.
It was basically like Bewitched or like Gags where she get pregnant and her water break and then it caused the sprinklers to go off. Or like you see, like when she's giving birth, like the pictures will start spinning around. But this time, like, it weren't like she used it like again, like I mentioned, she tilted her head like she was about to fuck Monica up, like she fucked up Thanos, and then she brought her powers. I was like, is she about to kill her?
Facts. I was scared for that.
And then the music shifted, just like the cinematography for this episode specifically of them, like when they shifted back and forth, because there wasn't much sitcom in this episode, but like when the aspect ratio would go back and forth, like I just thought all that shit was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I love the fuck out of this episode, and I can't wait to see like what happens going forward, because I just feel like at this point, especially now that we're kind of technically at the halfway point, like things are just gonna crack from here on out.
Yeah, the whole world's gonna fall apart from here.
Yeah, especially now that Monica's out of the world, and so they can. I don't know if she's I'm assuming she's gonna remember everything that she.
Monica go back in, and why do you think that Monica was like let in? Like they sent so many things in that didn't go through. Only a couple things went through. Monica went through, and that one drone went through, and the guy went through. You think somehow that Scarlet Witch is like she could see most of the things going on? She stops them from getting in, and only a couple things get in, or
yeah, that I'm not sure about, because that is a good point. They do mention that like the magic is preventing them from wanting to enter.
Yeah,
like it's not like an actual force, but it's kind of like mental persuasion, like something's telling me not to go in.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe they'll pull like a Green Lantern where if you have strong enough will, you can overcome her mind powers. So maybe somebody like Monica has a strong enough will. And like drones, they don't have a mind, so she can't manipulate a drone.
Yeah. But then they should have a bunch of drones in there.
I mean, they should, but maybe I don't know. Maybe not all drones can make it, because they said they like
drones are created equal.
Because they said no matter how many drones they send in, they're not able to see anything. So maybe not. Yeah, maybe not all the drones have been made. Because if you remember episode 2, when they were in the bed, you heard that like banging.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that was the drones trying to enter the world. So that could have been it. And maybe not. Yeah, all the drones just didn't make it in. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, why she let Monica through? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't her that let Monica through. Maybe it was Mephisto.
Mm-hmm. For what purpose?
That's the thing we have to find. That's the thing we have to find out.
It's all gonna come together soon, man. I just wish we didn't have to wait a whole week.
I'm like, I need more episodes. Like, that's why I wish this episode was longer, because everything happens so quick. Like they were just giving you, like, for the most part, this episode was pretty much all exposition, but it was handled so freaking excellently that I was eating all of it up. But because everything was moving at such a breakneck pace, this episode felt shorter than the other ones, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, credits. I don't even think so. I feel like the first episode had the longest credits, because you had the credits at the end, the WandaVision show, then they literally had the main credits. So it's like you had 2 credits. So it was like damn near 14 hours of credits in the first episode. But yeah, for this episode, I'm just like, I wish I could pull a Wanda and fast forward it to like freaking next Friday.
I watch it again. That part where like they show Vision, like it was like you said, it was horror. It was like scary, but then I also felt like so bad for her, at that point. Now I don't, because I realize that she's a horrible person, but I felt bad for her at that point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Wanda. Somebody else mentioned it. She's Cosmic Karen right there, because she's taking. Not only did she not wish her brother back, that's another thing, but like she's taking all of these people out of their lives just so she could have this fantasy reality with her dead robot boyfriend. Like, instead of at least, because she knows about Wakanda, she knows about the snap and things like that, so she knows Shuri's back. Mm-hmm. Take the dead body to fucking Shuri and have her try to rebuild them.
She's selfish, and that's the thing. Like after this, whatever this is all over, Wanda going to jail. Wanda going to jail,
or maybe not. They might pull a Wonder Woman 1984. They might pull a Wonder Woman 1984 and say, "Nah, no consequences."
Happy ending, yeah. Right. But nah, she needs to go to jail. I see her going to jail, and then Doctor Strange coming to her and breaking her out because he needs her for the multiverse of madness or whatever.
Maybe. or she doesn't go to jail. Maybe the season ends. Maybe the season ends with Doctor Strange. They ain't put no white woman in jail.
Oh my God, they don't put this woman in jail.
Especially a woman that can manipulate reality. You talking about Wanda? You're arrest. You're all frogs. You're all frogs. Fuck you. You ain't arresting me. Or Doctor Strange, kind of like at the end of Avengers Disassembled, where Doctor Strange, Professor Xavier, Magneto show up and try to rehabilitate Wanda. So maybe going to what you mentioned earlier, where they was like, why don't they call an Avenger? Maybe Doctor Strange is the Avenger they end up calling.
That makes sense.
And then, which again leads to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But all I know is if this show ends without Wiccan and Speed, I'm gonna be mad because part of me, I do feel like I partly feel like the only real reason to even do this show is to introduce the twins.
Nah, the show is good because it's good. It's good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not good, but it's to introduce the twins.
We introduced Monica though.
Yeah, but you can introduce Monica and Captain Marvel too.
You could. Yeah, it gives us young Avengers, but I just think that Tom King's Vision and Avengers Disassembled and all those stories are such good runs that the show deserves this. So. Yeah,
because but the writing's on the wall that they're going to do Young Avengers at some point because we already got Kate Bishop, they already got an older Cassie Lang. We got the Kree and Skrull. They introduced Marvel, even though they changed it to a woman. But
I throw Riri and Kamala in there too.
Yeah, they're gonna throw Riri and Kamala in there. We already got America Chavez, which I'm not a fan of the casting. They got the most light-skinned ass person. Nothing against the actress, but they got this is what
she's really young too.
This is the complexion that America Chavez is who they cast. But America Chavez, it's the light. The light is on me. But America Chavez is darker than me. She's not quite as dark as you. But between the two of us is how dark America Chavez is in the comics. But then they got a person this complexion to play her. I don't like that.
You know what? It's always like that.
Because of that, it makes me nervous.
Representation, it's like, I mean, wouldn't she be the first Latina Marvel superhero introduced?
Yeah, she would be.
Exactly. Every time we get, they give it to us give us crumbs first.
Race and ethnicity, they're two different things. So yeah, she's Latina, but America Chavez is Afro-Latina. Yeah. So give me an Afro-Latina, because it's the same shit. It's the same shit that people pulled when it came to Sun.
Technically,
it's the same shit that people pulled when it came to Sunspot in the New Mutants movie. They were like, "Well, he's actually Brazilian in real life," and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Sunspot is Afro-Brazilian in the comics. He was his first introduction in the comics. He was bullied not because he was a mutant. He was bullied because of his dark skin.
Yeah, I've never seen him either.
They called him a monkey. Yeah. What'd you say?
I've never seen him drawn I've seen American Chavez kind of drawn a little lighter, but I've never seen Sunspot drawn lighter. He's always, Well,
no,
darker.
now he's like White Spot.
Hickman stuff.
Well, I haven't seen him in Hickman, but if you look at when he was on New Avengers, when he bought out AIM, they changed. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. I can show you the whitewashing of Sunspot.
God.
In the comics, there's a whole here it is. Here's the image. Let me share my screen. So can you see this? Mm-hmm. So you see at the top left, that's how he started in the comics. But then you go down, you see the second box, second to last. Yeah. Or then you get to the third to at the bottom, third to or the very first box at the very bottom when he was in New Avengers. He's damn near like a white person.
Mm-hmm. Is that New Avengers?
Yeah, it's New Avengers when he bought AIM and Wiccan and Hulkling were on that book.
Was that Hickman's New Avengers?
No,
you sure it was New Avengers?
No, not Hickman's New Avengers.
Was it Uncanny Avengers?
No. It was when he bought out. It was when he bought out AIM. I don't remember who wrote it.
I'm trying to think of the name when they had X-Men in the Avengers, right?
Who was I don't remember who was on the team. I know it was Sunspot, Hulkling, Wiccan, and somebody else. I don't remember.
Rogue?
No, Rogue wasn't on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, even look the movie. Look who they can. I'm like, one of these things is not like the other.
I'm a huge Magic fan. Magic is probably my favorite X-Men, and I still haven't seen it.
But yeah, no, I haven't seen it because of this bullshit. Or what they did with Cecilia Reyes too. Let's not forget that. That was whitewashed too. But well, yeah, even this, like, look how he looks in both panels.
Fox don't care.
Like, yeah, I'm this comics. I'm like, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
So because of that, it has me nervous because everybody's like, oh yeah, once Marvel gets the rights to Storm, they're gonna do Storm right. But I'm like,
bro, they cast another light skin or half white Storm.
But this is going to your comment. Donna said Wanda was picking up chunks of the earth and throwing it at Thanos. What jail could hold her? Yeah, you talking about she going to jail? Yeah, what jail she can, even if they put her in the raft can't hold her. She can make the raft into like warp that whole shit and make it to a luxury apartment.
What's the one that in the comics that Ant-Man made? Shrink her ass, put her in that shit.
Yeah, it was like a negative zone type of
Yeah, throw her in there. Boom.
Or like the like the prison that Reed Richards made, even though we don't have a Reed Richards yet.
I mean, they take all the stuff that Reed Richards does and give it. Well, they took all of Reed Richards' ideas and gave him the Iron Man in that movie.
Give it to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe is a no-brainer for Storm. Nah, I like her.
I like Janelle Monáe a lot, but I don't.
I like Janelle Monáe, but not. I don't want.
No. I need somebody with a really strong voice, like a really strong, powerful voice. Somebody with a presence when they walk in the room, like how Angela Bassett would have been perfect. I need somebody like that.
Originally, before she was cast as Nakia, I was saying Lupita Nyong'o for Storm.
Yeah, I already took that.
But now a lot of people are thinking Yetide Badaki. I'm pretty sure I'm saying her name wrong, but the person that plays Bilquis in American Gods.
I don't watch American Gods.
I only watched the first season, but let me show you what she looks like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this somebody's calling me again. Oh, close that.
Michael.
But yeah, that's her.
Yeah, she has the chops.
Or again, she's playing Starfire, but Anna Diop.
Oh yeah.
Or
that show was on season 4.
Or yeah, I was literally just about to say this, Rosalind. Or what's her face from How to Get Away with Murder? I can't think of her name. Fuck.
Who, the star?
No, no, not Viola Davis.
I love Viola Davis or whatever.
Yeah, I love Viola Davis too, but not to have her play Storm. Why can't I think of her name? People probably saying it, but I got it. Oh, Aja Naomi King. There we go. Her for Storm. That could probably work. You don't even you look like you got a blank for you. You know who I'm talking about? No, all right, let me share. Apparently, I'm going to be doing a lot of sharing screens, so let me share it again.
I don't watch that much TV. She's gorgeous. Like I said, as long as that person, like whoever it is they cast, has like that chops, that presence, like
this
command the room.
This is her.
Because Halle Berry was a background character. The other woman they had placed on was a background character. Like Storm is second in command at X-Men. A lot of times she's in command at X-Men.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of times she's in command at X-Men.
Yeah.
And she's an Omega level mutant and the Queen of Wakanda, so she needs to have range.
Exactly.
And come across as a goddess on screen. even without saying a line of dialogue. She's the Hadari Yao.
Exactly. I don't know, but Marvel really hasn't let us down. Marvel hasn't really let us down too much, so I have a bit of faith in them. They know we'll boycott them. Like I think somebody was saying, like when Disney messes up, they get it right after because they want to please us. Like everybody else will just give you stuff and like, oh, you're gonna take it. Disney wants to do well. Like they want us to like it.
I was gonna say they did give us Iron Fist though.
Yeah. I mean, but even Iron Fist, the second season was way better than the first one.
Second season was way better than the first one, but that's still not. That's like, oh, the second season's down.
I'm not saying that they won't mess up. I'm saying they do. Like even like I said, the first season was garbage, and they tried to make it better in the second season. Like they gave the Iron Fist to what's the name?
To Colleen Wing.
Exactly. They were trying. You know,
I was hoping they were gonna do Daughters of the Dragon, but.
Yeah, I love Misty Knight. I love Mystic so much.
But yeah, but as far as WandaVision, I don't really have much else to say. I think we touched on everything that I wanted to. Did you got anything?
That
maybe we missed, or you could think of anything off the top of your head.
I just think that there were like you said, there was a lot of things that we saw this episode, like a lot of theories we had was squashed, and now some new stuff is popping up. They did a lovely job with Monica. Tiana Paris is awesome, and I just can't wait to see more of her. And I really hope we get a next wave.
I do too, but probably not. Because I'm like, they're gonna have Monica take a back. I feel like they're gonna have Monica take a back seat to Carol.
But they're not because they know we're gonna riot. They know we're gonna boycott. They know we. That's not where the money is, man. How much money did Black Panther make? They know.
Yeah, they know, but I mean,
they know. Disney knows at least.
I was gonna say because I was just about to bring a DC reference, like how much Black Panther made a shit ton of money, but you don't hear DC announcing a black superhero, which I think is stupid.
What executives over there really don't give a fuck about it. So
yeah, no, they really don't. But in terms of theories, you're not even just for next week's episode, but just in terms of where this show is going in general. Do you have any like theories?
Oh, definitely what I said with like Pietro and her having feelings about not bringing him back. Definitely, I see that happening, and I don't. Wanda got to go to jail. Even if she is a true hero, she would self-impose jail after the events of this. Like you wouldn't even need to put her in a raft or something like that. She would just sit in prison if that's her character.
Nicole Bahari for Storm. I mean, I love Nicole Bahari. That Storm may. I see her as maybe Monet than Storm, but they're not going to introduce Monet in the comic. So we're gonna get that hashtag started. Wanda got to go to jail. Wanda got to go to jail.
Exactly. Wanda got to go to jail.
Yeah, everybody start tweeting the WandaVision thing on Twitter. Wanda got to go to jail. Send the white woman to jail. She's fucking up everybody's lives. It's like what's that guy Antoine Dobson? Hide your kids, hide your wife. Wanda coming after everybody.
Facts.
Just to get her some artificial penis, some vision dick. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with my theory at the end. Like Wanda's gonna have her kids taken away, custody or whatever, or she's gonna have to choose between. Maybe she's gonna have to choose between keeping Vision alive or keeping her kids alive.
Besides Pietro, you think we'll get any other cameos from like characters in the MCU?
Probably not. I mean, like I said, maybe Doctor Strange by the end of it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Or like other like smaller characters, like like
people that don't got to pay that much.
Yeah, like you see, like you see Darcy, you see Jimmy Woo. So maybe smaller characters.
Maybe we'll get Maria Hill.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, will Maria Hill be associated with? I mean, I guess maybe anything's possible at this point, especially after what Kevin Feige mentioned for She-Hulk, when he was like, oh yeah, She-Hulk is a lawyer for superhero teams, so you never know who's gonna show up in that show.
Yeah, and I can see like the way they went so hard with WandaVision, like how it's really a sitcom. I really see She-Hulk being a comedy show, like a legit sitcom.
I think they said, I think they said it's gonna
be. When
they
said that, it's like okay, whatever. But now that you've seen something like that, you're like, okay, it's really gonna be, you know.
Because if you think about it, like a lot of people associate like breaking the fourth wall with comic book characters. Well, no, I was gonna say a lot of people associate that with Deadpool.
Oh,
but She-Hulk did it first. So
I'm actually like a huge She-Hulk fan. The Dan Slott run, the this run.
I have Savage. I can't even say the word Savage She-Hulk on my Fantastic Four shelf.
Nice, and the Charles Soule run. I love She-Hulk, so it should be interesting. Maybe we get a Daredevil cameo in there.
I feel like Daredevil's going to show up in Spider-Man whatever the fuck the name is, Spider-Man
3. Yeah.
That Ant-Man Shadow Dimension doesn't respond to the stones. No, I don't think the quantum realm is affected by the snap, because that's what saved Ant-Man.
I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and watch. Maybe off the top of your head. Did Vision have the Mind Stone in his head all these episodes?
Yeah, he did.
All the episodes he had in his head.
Yeah, every episode he had it. Because I was looking for that. Because I was wondering. I was like, is that really him? Did they maybe rebuild him? And she created the word. Yeah, he had the Mind Stone in his head the whole time.
There's no way he could have the Mind Stone. So it's definitely all right. That man dead, y'all.
He's dead. Yeah, she's having sex with a dead robot.
Yeah,
or a synthezoid.
Well, maybe not. You see how they sleep in the separate beds.
Well, she brought them together, and then after the episode started, when he was like, Wanda, hit the lights, and they went under the covers, so they were having sex.
Yeah. She gotta go to jail.
Wanda gotta go to jail. You gotta keep saying that.
I'm about to get a t-shirt.
22 people in here. Get a t-shirt that says Wanda gotta go to jail. Tweet it out to Marvel. Granted, the episodes are already filmed, they're already done, so whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, make sure you guys know Wanda gotta go to jail. I mean, she still hasn't really, even today in comics. Like,
she's felt no repercussions, and that's why I don't really like Wanda. Like, she's gonna pay. If you've been following the X-Men stuff, they always talk about her in a way like she's the devil.
Yeah, the great pretender.
Exactly.
Yeah, she still hasn't have any recompense, or not recompense, any comeuppance for depowering like 96% of the world's mutant population.
And killing them. A lot of them died.
Although they kind of placated it by saying, "Oh well, it wasn't really her fault. It was Dr. Doom."
Yeah, oh, nice way for a little white woman to get away with stuff.
So yeah, I definitely feel like Hickman is playing around with that, especially when she brought back all the zombies in one of the X-Men runs.
She got it.
And I definitely feel like getting outside of Wanda, I definitely feel like he's planting seeds for Storm to get her own comic too. If you read their X-Men,
definitely. Did they already announce a Storm solo coming?
Ta-Nehisi Coates did, but that's back when he was writing Black Panther. But then he's not doing Black Panther anymore. So because he was supposed to write the Storm book.
I'd rather see a black woman write it. So
yeah, that's why I was like, I'd rather see like Eval Ewing or maybe N.K. Jemisin.
Yeah, or Nikita Okafor.
No, I don't want her to write it.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing against her, but like I read her like Akata. I wasn't a fan of Akata Witch, so. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I don't really got much else to say. Otherwise, we're just gonna be droning on talk because we could talk about a whole. We could talk about a whole bunch of
comics.
Yeah, we could talk about actual comics, but then like I don't know how many people in here be like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then people start dropping off. So unless you got any last thoughts.
Nah, I'm just keep watching. You can follow me at you don't read comics.
Like, what's that note? You got a dog?
Yeah, my daughter and the dog just started playing in the background.
I was like, what's that note in the background? Well,
yeah, they don't care about me anymore. I said you had an hour already, Dad. It's over.
Oh yeah, tell everybody where they can find you. I'm not actually posting. once this live ends, I'm gonna actually post the link to your website.
Oh yeah. I'm at YouDon'tReadComics.com. I'm on Facebook at You Don't Read Comics and STFU You Don't Read Comics, and on Instagram You Don't Read Comics. What else did I? Twitter at We Read Comics, and you can follow me personally at Quippy_McThwips.
All of that stuff. I'm gonna leave the link to You Don't Read Comics in the description after this live is over. So yeah, you guys are already on my channel. You know where to find me. You know where to check me out. So I guess I'll join you guys for the next week's episode of WandaVision. Maybe I'll go live. Maybe I'll go live again after because this was fun. So yeah. But yeah, if you're still here live or you're watching us on the replay, please make sure to hit that like button and help out with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much. And until next week, we're summoning some magic. Yeah, I'm doing some Wanda stuff because I'm about to say Wanda got to go to jail.
Wanda gotta go to jail.
Wanda got to go to jail. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. But yeah, peace out. Till next week.